Hello, my name is Aaron, and welcome back to the Retro Gaming Collective. Welcome back to another episode of Guild Wars Pure Nostalgia. I wanted to show you kind of a unique mission in the game that I used to play a lot growing up and as I was coming up in the game. So this is actually part of the expansion Eye of the North. It's a town called Gunnar's Hold. I would consider this to be the Winterfell, if you will, of Guild Wars. It's one of the furthest northern points in the game. There's a couple little towns up here, but it's pretty much up there. And as you can see, it's snowy. It reminds me of Winterfell, having, watched Game of Thrones a bunch of times. But what I wanted to show you was this mission here. If you go up into this little corner here, you're going to find a gentleman by the name of Kilroy Stonekin. Now, this is a definite nod to World of Warcraft, Leroy Jenkins, and you'll see why. So you can see it's a solo quest. Now, we see there's a little bit of a reward here, 2,500 experience, 250 gold, no big deal. Now, I used to use this mission a ton back when I was trying to level up some characters. So typically what I would do is I would create a new character in the factions campaign, and I would get to the point where I was able to bring them to Lion's Arc, and then I would have I would run them basically all the way from LA up to Gunnar's Hold here, so that I could do this mission, because I could basically power level my character and have a level 20 in under 10 hours. Now you can see my skill bar has changed here, and basically I'm just going to follow Kilroy around here and kind of beat the crap out of people. It's a really, really fun mission. It's super nostalgic. Like, I really enjoy playing this, and I could play this like 4 or 5 times in a row, and it's a really great way to like farm things as well. Sorry, my PC's running a little slow here. I'm still getting used to this whole kind of record myself playing games and stuff. So my software isn't perfect, my PC is not perfect, but really ultimately this content is for me. It's something that I enjoy. And we're gonna have things that stop and look like this for a little bit while it's there we go. So see, he runs ahead and beats the crap out of people, and I collect the loot. But you can see, like, my PC is not the best, and my internet down here is not the best either. So it is what it is. But anyway, you basically just use the brass knuckles here. I can't use my actual weapons, but we use brass knuckles to fight these troll guys. And you just don't want to get yourself knocked out, because if you get knocked out, then you gotta press a button a bunch of times hoping to wake yourself back up. And then each time you do it, it gets a little harder than the last. Oh, we got a lockpick, and that's a good piece of loot right there. Just to sell it, it is 750 gold, which is really good, especially if you're a new player. So we have some guys over here. I'm always going off the mini map here, so that I can see what I'm actually up against. And I try to save these 2 skills off to the right. I don't know if you can even see my mouse, because you couldn't in the last episode. But I try to save those skills because they take time to build up, and they're also my most powerful skills. Okay, so we'll knock out this wolf. They're not super powerful. They don't hurt you real bad, but they can take a beating. And you'll see in kind of this next section here, I'm kind of limping my way over there now that effect is gone. These guys, there's each area that we go in this map gets basically more and more enemies and more difficult enemies. So we got some dwarven armor there, which we'll be able to identify and see if we can get some armor attachments and things like that. Another way to make some money in the game. You can see Kilroy here is about to die, you can see every now and then he chants Kilroy Stonekin. It just reminds me of Leroy Jenkins. If you haven't seen that video, it's hilarious. And if you haven't, I don't know where you've been. So I'm just sitting here trying to survive, knock out as many dudes as I can, because every time I kill somebody, I get a little bit more health, which is cool. And see how I pass out? Now I gotta stand up, hit that 15 times. But when you get to like 5 deaths in this, it can be pretty difficult. And Kilroy's actually back up, so that's cool. So the cool thing about doing a solo quest like this is, look, I can use my lockpick right here. Let's see what we get. My lockpick was broken, but I get this purple armor. Probably nothing good. But the cool thing about doing it solo is that I get all the loot. I get all the gold, all the loot. It all goes to me. And I also get all the experience points, which is why it's great to power level. Because, ooh, a gold bow? All right. That's a nice rare. I'll take it. Spiked recurve bow. Now, basically I have to fight this entire arena full of stone summit carvers in order to get to like a mini boss, and then I can fight the main boss. Again, this can be one of those things that just takes a little while. It's kind of repetitive in here, but it's super like, I don't know, it's just super nostalgic to me to be able to go back and do this. And you really just gotta spam punch. It's like you imagine a drunken brawl. This is what it would be like, right? If you're playing a MMORPG. So we're getting there, we're chipping away at these guys, and then we get over here and you're gonna see this is like where the mini boss is here, Lieutenant Magma. Of course, as soon as I do that, I die. But we come back, no big deal. This is really more times than I've died playing this in a really long time. It's kind of difficult to talk and play. I don't know how people do this all the time and Twitch and do all that. Because to me, it's pretty difficult. Dwarven armor, something to identify. That's really cool. Oh man, this is nuts. See how much more you gotta click each time? It just gets you up to 25, so 25 clicks and you have like 10 seconds to do all your clicks. Yeah, see, it's getting more and more difficult. Once Kilroy goes down, because he kind of chips away a little bit with you, that makes it a little more easy. Come on. And then you can see their health regens, and then you got to restart everything here. Okay, so there's one down. What we got to do is kind of get our skills up a bit here, so that I can knock a few guys out when I need to get my health up. So we'll use that. There we go. Get another Dwarven armor. Look at that. We're getting there. See, I can get it can be a little repetitive in here. But it's challenging, but not too challenging. Just challenging enough, I'd say. Man, we're getting gold stuff left and right here. That is not normal for me. All right, so now we can knock out these 2 guards here first. And then eventually Lieutenant Magma comes out, and I'll kind of use some of my heavier stuff here on him. Try to take out his guards first, so then I can focus on Lieutenant Magma, because he's a toughie. So Kilroy and I can definitely do this together. I knocked him over, which stops him from attacking, which is cool. There we go. Now, I like to run up a little bit ahead of Kilroy here. He stops there for a second and talks sometimes. And if I run up here, I like to attack the enslaved Etten first, and then we'll go for Franus Iron Toe. Because Franus I can take a beating from, and eventually Kilroy's going to get there. If you look at my mini-map, he's kind of taking his time getting over to me. But by the time he gets here, I'll have done some serious damage on that Snow Etten. And then he can do some damage while I'm down. And when I come back, I'll finish him up. See? Just in time for Kilroy to die. And then what we got to do here is try to get to a point where we continually knock down Franus Iron Toe so that he's not hitting me constantly. And I'm just spamming all of these things. Here's another knockdown. See if we can get him. There we go. Knocked him down. Looking good. So we will win this raid here. It's nice and short. It's only about 10 minutes or so, if that. He's done. Got another lockpick. Wow. This is a pretty crazy run. So we can go over here and we'll open this up. I think it's like an aged dwarven ale or something, like dwarven ale. Look at that. Okay, cool. So that is the mission. And then we just go back to Gunnar's Hold here. And then we can collect our loot from Kilroy, that 2,500. And that can sometimes, I mean, think about that. All of that experience points, whatever, it'll get you right to level 20. You know, if you're up here like a level 15 or something like that, you'll be there in no time. Maybe 1 or 2 runs through that and you're good. So we'll get this. And then I also want to show you guys, let's go and actually like identify what we got here. Some of our weapons, get another good look at them, because we did actually get some pretty cool ones. So I'm looking forward to seeing what actually comes out of them. I mean, look at that. We got 326 gold in there. We got some purple armor, some regular old blue armor here. I mean, it's a shame it's not max or anything, but we might be able to get some cool parts. So let's see this. Summit Warlord shield. Nothing great, I'm sure. We got minor earth prayers. That one might actually be good for us to sell. We go in here. Minor fast casting. The radiant is actually one that I use. I have it on my gauntlets here. Gives me +3 energy. It's super cool. Let's see what we got on this recurve bow. Sundering, which is, oh, look at that. So sundering, the armor penetration +20% chance is actually maxed out. So that's cool. That's what I use on my destroyer axe here. You can see armor penetration 20+. So that's perfect. It's called perfect when it's like that in the game. So that's a cool pull. Then we got Vitae is also a good one. It gives you health. I use it on a lot of my armor pieces here, and it also sells well. We got minor axe mastery, also good. Knights is also decent. Summit Warlord of Valor. The Valor one isn't great for me, but it's highly salvageable. It sells for 204. So we'll see how we feel about that. And then we got this Wingblade sword. Nothing great on there. But all in all, it was a pretty good run. I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, so I'm going to continue to make these. And again, they're just for me. And if you guys like them, that's awesome. That's really cool for me. I just want to show off a game that I loved and still really do love. I actually have my character tattooed right here. That's this guy. It just means a lot to me. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for following me, for going along for the ride while I try new things on this channel. But you can follow me here or on Instagram and TikTok. I'm at the Retro Gaming Collective, where I post all kinds of stuff: Pokemon cards, video games, game hunting, all that stuff. It's all over the place. But that's it. I appreciate it, guys. Until next time, happy hunting.